Welcome back to Creative Chats, the podcast where we travel across the MENA region and beyond, sitting down with people building, reimagining, and leading the creative economy. I'm your host, and whether you're tuning in on Spotify, Anghami, or watching us on YouTube, thank you for being here. Every listen, every share, every message we get saying that an episode hit differently, it means the world to us. This community is everything. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, let me paint a picture of where Creative Chats came from and what we're really doing here. Creative Chats is a traveling podcast of creative dialogues, a MENA-based platform and regional movement dedicated to empowering creativity, fostering innovation, and enabling sustainable growth across the region's creative economy. The platform is owned and operated by YVT Consultancy, an independent strategic firm operating regionally in the GCC and beyond. Creative Dialogues brings together emerging talent, culture leaders, and industry pioneers through cross-sector collaboration, education, and, as the name says it, dialogue. The podcast specifically was built with one intention: to get off the stage and onto the road, to find the real conversations in cities that don't always make the global creative headlines, and bringing them to you. Since we launched in 2023, the Creative Dialogues platform has reached over 5,000 attendees, engaged more than 800 creatives directly, and delivered over 30 activations across the region. And through our media and diaspora networks, we've achieved a global Arab reach of over 25 million people. 25 million. That's not a vanity metric. That is 25 million people who belong to a cultural conversation that for too long wasn't being had loud enough, and we intend to keep having it. What's made this possible is the structure behind the platform. Creative Dialogues operates across 5 pillars: the flagship city events, Creative Chats, which is this podcast, Creative Connect, our year-round online community, Collab Creative, our festival activations across the GCC and beyond, and Curate Creative, which is our pop-up experiences. Every pillar feeds the other. Every touch point is a door into the same ecosystem. I want to be honest with you about hosting Creative Chats and how this has meant to me personally. Every guest I've sat across from has brought something I really didn't expect, a perspective I hadn't considered, a story that completely reframed the way I thought was possible in this region. We've sat with talent living in challenging situations and with activists who've been building quietly for decades. And what strikes me every single time is the hunger. The MENA creative economy is not waiting for permission. It's already moving. What Creative Chats tries to do, and I hope it does for you, is close this gap between someone who has figured out something and someone who's still trying to. That exchange, that transfer of experience and honesty, that is the whole point. Now I want to tell you what's coming on the horizon, because the rest of 2026 is looking quite exciting and ambitious. We're heading to Beirut, the birthplace and culture anchor of Creative Dialogues, this October from the 9th through the 11th, and then Cairo in November during the exhilarating Cairo Design Week, can't wait, and then Manama, Bahrain for the first time in early December. And then we close out with Marrakesh early next year in February 2027. Each of those cities carries a completely different creative energy, a different set of stories, a different community, and we'll be here for all of it. So if you know someone who's there, please find us, come to the events, be part of the conversation, and follow us at We Are Creative Dialogues on Instagram to stay updated on everything. Now I'm really excited to tell you what's coming next on this feed. Because today, not only are we shooting in this proper studio, as we know we are always moving on ground, but what follows might be my favorite conversation we've had ever on this podcast. I'm turning the mic around, and the next episode, I sit with the woman who built the infrastructure that makes all of this possible. The founder and CEO of YVT Consultancy, the firm that powers Creative Dialogues from the ground up, Yasmin van der Trovast. Yasmin has been the force behind everything we've seen from this platform. The vision, the architecture, the relationships, the relentless belief that the MENA creative economy deserves a platform that actually serves it. Today, she's sharing all of this with us. And it's a conversation about origin stories, about building in the MENA context, about leadership, and about what it really takes. And I promise you, you'll want to have your notes open. Now, before I let you go, thank you genuinely for listening, for sharing, for being part of what Creative Chats is becoming. This is a community first work, and that only means something because of you. Just subscribe to our podcast on Spotify and Rami as Creative Chats by Creative Dialogues. Follow us on YouTube as Creative Dialogues. And find us on Instagram at We Are Creative Dialogues. We're also on LinkedIn as Creative Dialogues. So if today's episode resonated with you, please share it. Send it to someone who needs to hear it. That's how we grow. And I'll see you in the next episode. Let's keep the conversation going.